Today we've got the guided practice for pyramids. So remember that your formula for lateral area of a pyramid is 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. Total surface area is 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height plus the area of your base. And the volume for a pyramid is 1/3 the area of your base times your height. So first off, we know our height is 10. We can find our perimeter by adding 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, and that equals 32. We can find the area of our base by 8 squared, and that's 64. But we need our slant height. Okay, so we've got our height, we've got our side length, which is 8. Now remember that we're essentially finding something similar to your radius. So we're going to divide 8 by 2, and that gets us 4. And that's from the center to that side. So to find our slant height, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem, and we're looking for the slant height. So we are going to use that as our hypotenuse, as C. So we're going to do 4 squared plus 10 squared equals C squared. 4 squared is 16. 10 squared is 100. When you add those together, you get 116. And then we'll take the square root of that. Now we are going to leave that as the square root of 116 so we don't get rounding issues. And that is our slant height. So for our formula for lateral area, we have 1/2 times our perimeter times our slant height. So 1/2 times our perimeter of 32 times our slant height of the square root of 116. So when you type it into an Inspire or a graphing calculator, it should look something like that. And you get 172.325. And we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So it's 172.33 feet squared. Then we need to find our total surface area. So again, we're going to do 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height plus the area of our base. So 1/2 times 32 times our slant height, which is the square root of 116, plus the area of our base, which is 64. And again, we're rounding to the nearest hundredths place, so that gets us 236.33 feet squared. And then we're looking at volume of our pyramid. So that's going to be 1/3 times the area of our base, which is 64, times our height, which is 10. And that gets us 640 thirds. And we want to round to the nearest tenth. So that gives us 213.33 feet cubed. Please remember that for volume, it's your units cubed. For your total surface area and your lateral surface area, it's your units squared. Our next one, we have a square pyramid shaped building that has a slant height of 210 feet and a square base with sides of 332 feet. So we know our slant height is 210 feet. And we know that the sides of our base are 332, so we can find our perimeter. So 4 times 332 because our base is a square. And our perimeter is 1,328. And we need to find our area for our base. So we're going to do 332 squared. And that gets us 110,224. And then we need to find our height. So remember, we've got our slant height, and that's 210. And we've got our side is 332, but we only need half of our side to use Pythagorean theorem. So half of 332 is 166. And we need to find our height. So 210 is our hypotenuse, because that's the triangle we're looking at right now. So we're going to use h squared plus 332 squared equals, or not 332, sorry, 166 squared equals 210 squared. Okay, and the reason it's 166 and not 332 is we only need half of it. It's similar to the radius. So 166 squared is 27,556. And 210 squared is 44,100. And then we're going to subtract 27,556 from both sides. And we get 16,544. And then we're going to take the square root of that. And it does give us a decimal, so we are going to leave that for our height until we need to use it. So our height is the square root of 16,544. Now remember that our formula for lateral area of a pyramid is 1/2 times our perimeter times our slant height. So 1/2 times our perimeter of 1,328 times our slant height of 210. And we get 139,440. feet squared. And then we need to find our total surface area. Remember, our formula for total surface area is 1/2 times our perimeter times our slant height plus the area of our base. So 1/2 times 1,328 times 210 plus the area of our base, which is 110,224. So we get 249,664 feet squared. And then our formula for volume is 1/3 times the area of our base times our height. So 1/3, the area of our base was 110,224 times our height, which is the square root of 16,540. 44, sorry, not 40. Okay, now notice I got a e to the 6. I do not want to see that written or typed anywhere. So we need to change our settings. So we're going to go up here to document settings and setting and status and document settings. And instead of float 6, it should be on float 12. Click OK. Whoa, too far. And then we're going to go back up, not to the answer, but to what we typed in and get that. So we have 4,725,798 and 21 hundredths because we are rounding to the hundredths place. And that is feet cubed. And then our last one on the guided practice, we want to find a square pyramid with an altitude of 24 inches and a slant height of 30 inches. So another word for altitude, remember, is height. So we've got our height of 24 inches. We've got our slant height of 30 inches. So we need to find our side length. So we have a triangle that looks like this right now, 24 and 30. And we need to find this length and then multiply it by 2. So we are going to use Pythagorean theorem again. So 24 squared plus x squared equals 30 squared. And 24 squared is 576. 30 squared is 900. And then we're going to subtract 576 from both sides. And we're going to take the square root of 324. and we get 18. Okay, so this length is 18, which means that this side is also 18. So 18 plus 18, that gets us 36. So our side length is 36. So then we need to take our perimeter, find our perimeter. So 4 times 36. That gets us 144 for our perimeter. And we need to find the area of our base. So 36 squared. And that gets us 1,296. Now we can plug everything in. So remember, our formula for lateral area is 1/2 times our perimeter times our slant height. So 1/2 times our perimeter, which is 144, times our slant height, which was 30. And we get 2,160 feet squared, or inches squared, sorry. And then we need to find our total surface area. Remember, our formula for total surface area is 1/2 times our perimeter times our slant height plus the area of our base. So 1/2 times our perimeter, which is 144, times our slant height, which is 30, plus the area of our base, which is 1,296. And we get 3,456 inches squared. And then we need our volume. Remember, your formula for volume is 1/3 times the area of our base times our height. So 1/3 times the area of our base, which is 1,296, times our height, which is 24. And we get 10,368 inches cubed. So please write down your formulas as you go. Make sure that you find your perimeter, your slant height, your area of base, and your height before you plug in anything. And make sure that your lateral area and your surface area are your units squared and your volume is your units cubed. Remember that when you type this in for to the computer, if you were typing this volume in, it'd be a 10,368 IN, the caret symbol, which is above the 6, and then a 3 to cube it.